everyone, to another episode of EYEAM Mental Health Podcast. Today we have a very special guest sitting on the other end of the camera. We have here with us today someone who is very active in the community, someone who a lot of the young guys coming up look up to, as well as us too, which is why another reason we have him on the podcast. 2017 first team All BCL player, 2017 first team All Metro, USA Today All Maryland second team. Also was a 1,000-point scorer at Mount Carmel High School, and he was also featured on ESPN Top 10 versus Florida State. We have with us today Nolan Jr. How are you today, Terry?
Hi, bro. Appreciate y'all for having me, bro.
My God, what's going on, Brody?
My God, Terry. We're gonna start off just telling people about growing up in Baltimore, like not even just the on and off the court experience, so like being in Baltimore, that basketball, that environment, everything.
I mean, so I grew up, on the east side of Baltimore. I was in the county. So I grew up, but I grew up around in the city. I played at Bentlow, played around St. Francis, Chick Webb, all the gyms that, if you was a hoop in Baltimore, you was that around that way. So like everybody, if you grew up in Baltimore, yo from down the way. Everybody know everybody. So you feel me? Just growing up in that environment, bro, like you just had to grind, honestly. Like everybody wanted to, have their own name. Everybody wanted to be their own person. So you just had to show out regardless.
What you saying, you just had to show out, and coming from a place like Baltimore, we all know how it is coming from there. Just us growing up with you since a young age, a lot of people don't know you're very unique, you're very independent, you're different than a lot of people. Like, you don't go with the crowd is what I'm trying to say. Like, you're not afraid to step in your own lane and do your own thing. So how did you kind of be like, I'm going to do my own thing rather than standing in with everybody else in this tough city growing up like Baltimore?
I mean, you kind of just see the trend, bro. Like, you see somebody and they kind of do what everybody else is doing, but they always revert back to where everybody else is at. So I realized, like, the first thing you had to do is just change your mental. You just had to really just think outside the box. How can I be different? What can I do that other people ain't doing so I can be assertive so people can know my name? So, like, just having that mindset, and really, like I said, it was just self-taught, honestly. Like, I ain't really got the example. Like, my pops, he from Baltimore, so he go through the whole cycle. So everything, it's just from a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of just looking up to people that's already, like, successful, just trying to mimic what they already been doing. And it's outside the box.
You kind of use basketball to, like, keep you, I wouldn't say out of trouble, because I wouldn't say you're a troublesome person, but just growing up in Baltimore, it's easy to get yourself in something that you shouldn't really be in, or something that necessarily is not that important. So was basketball like your go-to, or how did you like keep that tunnel?
Nah, definitely. Basketball is definitely my go-to. Like, if it ain't basketball, you in the streets. That's just how Baltimore is. So basketball, is my outlet. So something was on my mind, I wanted to go hoop. And at the same time, basketball, if you growing up and you playing for a long period of time, it's going to teach you how to be a man. That's the little thing that people don't know. It's going to teach you discipline. It's going to teach you how to, work hard, how to really grind to get what you want to get. Like, there's a lot of like intangibles in Baltimore intangibles in basketball that people don't really know about.
All right. A little bit more in depth into basketball. Speak on your probably one of my favorites to this day years. Your 10th grade year, the year we was #1 in Maryland. And a lot of people don't know, you was that 6-man up the bench. Like, if something was going wrong, we had to throw Tnolan in and get it done. Like, we had to.
See, people don't even know about that, bro. 19 games in a row. They don't know about that, bro. Nobody knows. I'm telling you, we ran Baltimore at the time, bro. We ran it like
43 games in a season, bro. That's unheard of for us.
Bro, we was anybody. If you in DC, you was getting whooped. Anybody was getting it, bro. Like I said, we won 19 games in a row, bro. It was different. And the thing was, like, y'all had the leadership, you feel me? Like you said, I was the 6th man that came in, but y'all set the tone off rip, you feel me? So I'm in 10th grade, I'm looking up to y'all. I'm just, following y'all tone. That's how I was able to be assertive too.
Definitely. Another game you definitely remember. One of the biggest games you and another young player we had, Tiz, had like the best game was our championship game. Y'all both led the points and scoring. How did you feel? If you ask me, the shot looked good to me, taking that shot at UMBC when we lost to Cabell Hall by 3. After coming back down from 17, we was down it was like 4 minutes. The
so hold on. Listen, what people forget about that story, bro, is that half of the bench got kicked out the game because it was a little fight that happened. Fact. So we only were playing with like 5-6 people. So we like Frank was gone, B was gone. I think David was gone. It was just me, you, Tez, Lloyd was in there. I think somebody else, bro. But anyway, like, yeah, like you said 6, man. I had to step up at that moment, bro. Like y'all wasn't there, so. But that last shot, bro, I ain't gonna lie, it felt good. That jump just went in and out.
Look good.
I ain't gonna lie, if I'd hit that, we win in the game.
Yeah, come on, we go to overtime. It is what it is. But let's speak on college now. Let's speak on your experience at George Washington, as far as on the court, off the court, everything. Going from Baltimore right down the street to DC and playing in the A-10, just being there. Right.
So actually coming out of high school, I was actually committed to Chattanooga. And people don't know about that story either. So I committed there I was committed to Chattanooga my whole senior year. And after the spring semester happened, it was good, Pop, my fault. After the spring semester happened, the coach left, but I found that out on Twitter, found it out in like May. And if you know about the basketball season, y'all, we start in June. So I literally had to find a school. So I opened my recruitment back up. I only had 3 schools that was interested in me: Georgetown, George Washington, and George Mason. So my first choice was actually Georgetown, but they wanted me to reclass, and I wasn't even trying to reclass. I was trying to go hoop right away. And GW, they leading shooting guard just left, so they needed a guard to come in right away and play. So as a freshman, I'm like, yeah, let's get it. So I went down there freshman year. I mean, I was like, kind of in a sense, it was kind of how it was my in 10th grade year. Like, yeah, I started, but I wasn't the first option. Like, it was a lot of players ahead of me. But because it was like a system at GW and because it was all politics, like, it never really worked, you feel me? And like, it carried into my sophomore year where you realize my sophomore year, we was worse than our freshman year. We had better talent, but we was worse because it was just too much politicking, too much, the culture was toxic. The players, we was cool with each other, but it was a big disconnect with the coaches. So we could never really get anything done.
With you saying you weren't really the first option, there was a lot of people in front of you from 10th grade, and now you run into the same situation again in college. And I really just wanted to touch on this mainly because you were not selected for the Mount Carmel all-decade team. How do you feel about that? Does it give you a chip on your shoulder to know, like, I'm not first up, or do you not really worry about being first? Or talk about that a little bit.
So I don't ever really worry about being first, but honestly, when I saw that list, I was pissed off. I was mad. Because if you know about Mount Carmel, bro, you know I should be on the list. That's just facts, bro. But, I mean, yeah, it kind of do give me a chip. And I'm back at home. I'm at Towson now. So, of course, they doubted me then. They're going to see something now.
That's a fact. But, yeah, that list was crazy.
Yeah, somebody whoever wrote the list is like,
he was blind, bro.
Talk a little bit about COVID, though. How you been moving around during COVID? How was it getting on flights, getting back home, going to school? Well, you back home now, but when you was up in Illinois.
Right. Yeah, I mean, when COVID hit around March. But people don't even know, like, a lot of people in the tournament, they didn't even get to play the conference championship. We actually was one of the only teams that played our conference championship, and we won that year. So we was going to the tournament. Then within like 4 or 5 days, COVID hit, shut everything down. So once that happened, I was just up there in Illinois, man. It was kind of scary because, like I said, we didn't know what was happening. But, throughout COVID, we just had to adapt. And like now, feel me? I'm just still moving around. I still wear my mask everywhere I go. I'm vaccinated, but I still wear my mask just as a precaution.
I was definitely going to ask you about the vaccine, but you already said you vaccinated.
Yeah. Speaking on COVID, the vaccine, all that happened in March. I want to say, I may be wrong, but I think like right in the end towards April, the Black Lives Matter movement got real big. I know you was in Illinois and took your own opportunity and took advantage of it and spoke out there. How was that? Like, what brought up the courage to do that? Like, what made you say, "But I'm gonna go out here and let these people hear somebody like really listening to what's going on"?
Right. I mean, honestly, it was just really being inspired and educated about the movement at the time. Like, a lot of things happening, and a lot of people was getting exposed for who they really is. So, you see on Twitter, you see people all over the world, they doing their own protests. they doing their part to spread the movement. So, you know, my coaches, I appreciate them for this to this day, but they allowed me, like you said, to just be me and be outside the box. So I kind of came up with the idea, you know, let's try to, you know, rally as many people we can. I'm gonna speak in front of our city center where we play at, and I'm gonna just speak about Black lives. Really try to educate, you know, people that was ignorant or people that just want to know more about it.
That was definitely big though, bro, for sure.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. Salute to you on that. A lot of people not gonna step up there and do that, especially where we come from. Most definitely.
Elaborate on your brand. I think you started it earlier this year, maybe last year, the Impetuous Brand. Just like, what was the reasoning behind that? How did that all come about?
Right. So the reason actually behind Impetuous Brand was, people don't know that when I was at GW, I kind of went through a depressive stage. What kind of really helped me get out of that was that I really was, you know, just doing more activities, going outside, you know, being around people that they wasn't resorting to things that wasn't positive for the mind. You know, just surrounding myself with people that was on pushing and doing stuff better, kind of influenced myself to start something, you know, to try to be positive. So I started Impetuous Brand, really predicated on encouraging people to do more and think less, motivating people to be, you know, themselves and really inspiring individuals to achieve their goals. So that was my whole main focus with the Impetuous, really just to try to spread positivity.
What you start an Impetuous Brand and what you saying, like you went through a small phase of depression, and with COVID going on, the Black Lives Matter movement, the world just been crazy for the past 2 years. Obviously NCAA basketball has been on and off. And I think you even had a recent surgery recently. At any time during any of those experiences, did it make you take a step back and think like, what am I going to do if I do have to put the ball down one day?
Definitely. But I feel as though that thought always been in my mind, even when I was younger. Always just trying new things, just really trying to, you know, see what I like and what I can make a living off of that I don't mind doing every day. So, you know, like traditional jobs, that just ain't me. Like, I don't see myself working a traditional job. I can't.
I always say find something you like to do for free and that you wouldn't mind getting paid for. So,
right.
But most definitely, I feel you on that. Not working for nobody.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is really a big generation for that. So like, talk a little bit about Generation Z, like us being the more outspoken generation, whether it's people coming out from LGBT community, people just speaking their opinions, the vaccination. Like, I feel like we are a very outspoken generation. Do you think we're actually being heard and we are a generation that can make change, or do you think that time and just history just repeats itself?
I think we the generation that's gonna make change. And why I say that is because I feel like our generation got a major advantage with social media. So it is allowing people to actually, you know, be themselves, speak out more, actually be heard by millions around the world instantly. You feel me? So I feel as though with us, like, we kind of had a different vision in our minds than what our parents kind of did necessarily. Like, we trying new different things. Like, we doing, like you said, like, I know y'all, we've been trading in the summer. Who we know in our family that's been day trading? Like, we don't know that. That's something that's like self-taught. So I feel as though we definitely a generation that's going to, you know, change stuff, because we got to be heard. We have to.
Most definitely. So you think social media is, I know social media is, of course, the number one platform for any network marketing and stuff like that, but you're saying like our generation should use the social media to push our feelings and our thoughts out there, versus social media is negative, or even not even social media negative, just the way that people will interpret it. Like, maybe they'll see a rapper go buy a Lamborghini for his girl, and now they think, oh, I got to get my girl a Lamborghini, or like you just looking at other people's success and realizing like, why is my success not here? Like, talk a little bit about that, like how social media has impacted this generation and your thoughts on social media.
Now, social media definitely impacted that, because like I said, everything is like what we see. So I feel as though when you're on social media, instinctively you're gonna go through that phase of, dang, they got this, why ain't I got that yet? That's the human effect. Like, you always gonna have that, but I feel as though you gotta kind of separate it to, all right, they got that. And like I said, a lot of us, we see a lot of black young entrepreneurs doing it. So instead of us thinking like, damn, they got that. I wish I had that. And now it's like, oh, I bet. How they get that? Let me see what I can do to try to get that. Oh, yeah, I can see he getting that. Oh, I bet I can get that too. So it's just a motivation. It's a perception switch in your mind that you just got to have on social media. And as far as your own platform, like, I feel as though you should use social media to just be you. That's what the platform is for. You shouldn't try to, you know, like, so what somebody told me is the wheel is already going to be there. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just put rims on. Be exactly who you're going to be. Nobody can be you at the end of the day. So
what do you think is one of the key components in people doing that, like differentiating the fact of, oh, I want to be like this person versus I want to be in that type of lane? Like, it's different between like staying in a different lane and wanting to be somebody else exactly, if you get what I'm saying.
Right. I guess that's really, you just gotta be yourself. Like, at the end of the day, it come down to knowing who you is. Like, if you somebody that, you know, you always trying to jump on the next thing, you gonna be easily influenced by what they post, not knowing if it's fact, not knowing how they got it. You just see a post. Now your emotions attached to, oh, I want that, so I'm gonna try to do something. I think it's like I said, it's just a perception that you gotta have in your mind to where it's like, all right, okay, they got it. Now it's levels to how I can attain it. Okay, I can't get it fast. Okay, I bet. I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna do slow grind. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna actually spend those hours that you need to obtain what you need to get. At the end of the day, we live in a long, healthy life. Every day we got to keep growing, keep learning. So, like I said, it's all just a perception of what you have and on how you view things.
Well, definitely. A lot of times people don't even show that, like you said, those stepping stones that it took to get there. They just show the finished product. They don't really show the work on Instagram or social media. So when the young kids do see it, they just like, oh, he's 22 years old and he got $1 million. Like, I want that. Like, I should have that. So I feel like it's basically, I feel like you either got to have the correct guidance or the proper like mental to really understand, like, all right, like, I'm not looking at them in no envious type way, but that just motivated me to go harder. Like, I know if they obtained it, I can obtain it too. And if I'm obtaining it, then we maybe can obtain it. Once I obtain it, we can help each other and get to an even higher level. So that's how I feel like a lot of stuff go.
That's definitely a key point, what you said right there. You got to take it as like, and this is for anybody that's going to look at this. You got to take what you're seeing on social media as motivation. You can't take it as like, he ain't supposed to have that. You got to take that as like, all right, I know what I need to do. You got to understand the building blocks that come before that. But
that's what you really understand. There's a foundation that come with everything. Like, people see, I'm in college, I play basketball. They don't understand. I was 6 years old. I've been grinding for this moment my whole life. It's 15 plus years built in just for this moment. And like y'all said, like, they don't understand the work. They just see the finished product. That's key right there.
That's all that is. Now, speaking more on the mental state, talk about your mental state of transferring, because you went to 3 different schools within a matter of what, 4 years, 5 years? Just talk about that whole situation. Like, was it a time where you felt like, damn, I should just stay where I was at? Like, did you ever question yourself throughout this? Just elaborate on it.
I'm gonna say when I left GW, I didn't really question that, because like my mental state at that time, like I said, I was going through a little depressive state. I really needed to get out of that environment. Like I said, it was just toxic for me. So I didn't really question that with decision. And this last decision of me transferring, coming back home, I didn't question that at all. I graduated, so, I love Bradley to death, but, with my circumstances, me having a baby, I felt as though what I had to do as a man is come back home, try to pursue my master's and just, have my family surrounding me with, new blessings that's on the way.
Well, congrats on graduating.
Yes,
too,
sir.
bro.
Definitely congrats, bro. Talk a little bit about your depressive stage. Like, how'd you get to that point? Did you notice it right away? Did it take you a few weeks, or did it take you some time to be like, man, I'm not myself? Like, what's going on? Like, talk about how you overcame it. Like, just speak a little bit on about that depressive stage, because a lot of people might think from the outside looking in, oh, Tino just posted his jersey. He about to have a good game. They get a stipend at D1 schools. Like, they wouldn't even know that a D1 athlete is really going through something mental, especially depression. So talk about that a little bit, the whole process.
Right. I mean, so how I got my depressive state was, like I said, I was at GW for my freshman and sophomore year. So my freshman year, I didn't really have a year like I wanted to. Like I said, I was behind some people. Shout out to them though. They were, rightfully so. But the next year, I'm expecting is, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna be me. I'm a hoop. I'm gonna have the same opportunity that they got, and I'm gonna shine. Right. That time come around is the complete opposite of what I thought. Complete opposite. Now it's like, all right, I'm in a situation where I'm at a point where I got to provide for myself and my family. And now because of politics and because of certain things that's happening, I'm not able to produce at the level that I need to. So just having that, and like I said, constantly just being in a toxic environment, your mental, you know, like it starts to drift. And slowly you're not being yourself. Like you become like snappier. Like it's little things that you don't pick up on. And I didn't pick up on it for a little while. Not until I kind of, you know, transferred, got into the new atmosphere and was really, you know, like just surrounded by different minded people in a different culture. So I think that, you know, depression is definitely around the corner. For me, you know, it kind of took maybe like 5 months for me to finally get out of it. But once I like finally recognized that I was in it, you know, I took the steps to get out of it. And now that I'm very conscious about it. So now if something happens, like, okay, I can pinpoint it to this moment. Let me handle that emotion. Let me go through it. And then I'm back to myself, back to center.
The key thing that stuck out to me that you said is it took you 5 months to get over it. That's not a little bit of time. That's damn near almost a half a year that it took you to get over depression. So like, did you have somebody there? I know you're very close with your parents, especially. I know you're very close with them. Were they there for you? Did you let them know, like, I'm not in the right headspace? Did you have any friends that really helped you through the process? Or like, how did you really like I gotta get over this hump?
Right. So if anybody know me, y'all know I'm close to my parents. Like both of them. Like they like my left hand and right hand. So of course they knew that I was going through that phase, and they really just guided me. Like at that time, I wanted to stop playing basketball. Like I wanted to just be done, just go to a whole different lane. But like they knew my potential. They had my back. So, you know, when I would come to them, they would listen. They would give me their advice. But at the end of the day, they knew that the vision I had from the beginning. And they knew the goals that I had set out for myself. And so they just held me accountable, you know, and kind of just gave me the nudge that I needed.
That's definitely big, bro. Because like you said, a lot of people don't know, like mental, especially when you're going through depression. Like, because I've had one of those episodes before too, as a college athlete. What? Going through that, bro, is really a daily thing, bro. Like, it's not just like one day it's all going. No, that's every day waking up battling with yourself. And it's crazy that people think like it's all peaches and cream on outside looking in, but it's not.
It's not. And you going through everything. Like college, I ain't like college happened fast. Just yesterday, I was a freshman. Like time be moving, especially when you an athlete. It's like you wake up, your day is planned from when you wake up till you go to sleep. So you literally just moving on to the next day, trying to be better than yesterday. But it's hard to be better than yesterday when you ain't even processed the day yet. You feel me? So they don't understand. It's a process and it just builds up and you don't even really know it.
And it's even harder because you don't have nobody to knock on your door like, Terry, come on, we gotta get up today. Like, if you want to sleep 24 hours, you're gonna sleep 24 hours. Like, if your coach don't say nothing or you don't got no teammate to look out for you, like, you'll just stay in that depressive mind state. Like, I can relate completely, like 100%. Like the whole moving up to my next year, my sophomore year, not getting the playing time. Like, I literally went and purchased a PlayStation 4. I'm like, bro, I'm not leaving out my dorm room. Like, I would go to class, I would stop at the caf, get my lunch. I wouldn't even eat in the caf. I would just get my food from the caf and go back to my dorm room and sit in the room all day and just sit in there. And I'm like, man, I can't keep doing this. Like,
right.
College will definitely, I feel like college will really, it'll help you a lot, to be honest. I feel like it'll really show you your true character. Like, okay, I'm away from home.
Crazy you said that. I said it'll test your character, bro. It'll really test you. Like college really, like, a lot of people say they might have became a man growing up, whatever. Like all of us, I'm pretty sure went and we at college like 17, 18. But I can truly say between my time when I went to New York for that semester and then when I went down to Virginia, like it definitely grew me as a young man because it really shows you like there's nobody really out here for you like you, regardless of how everybody feel. Like you gotta be your own biggest hype man, your own biggest supporter. You gotta pick yourself up because they gonna walk right over you. They don't if you sitting there down upset, nobody care about it that much for real.
Man, because I ain't gonna lie, everybody got something going on in their own life.
That's what I'm saying. You sitting there pouting and everything, thinking like, damn, I'm gonna do this while the next man right next to you might be going through the same thing, but y'all not. And then that's another thing we have a problem with, especially in the Black community, especially as young Black men. We not, and that's what made us really want to start this podcast, bro. People are afraid to speak about their feelings, bro. Like that doesn't make you soft or make you anything, bro. Like we really have to be able to be open and speak on what's going on. Because while we doing this right now, there could be somebody across the world, the country, or something that can relate to this verbatim, like we were saying. And now that may change the last year or two of their college career. We never know.
Right. And that's key right there, because like you said, like college is going to show you who you is. It's going to show you your struggles and how you get through them. And just as you going through them, somebody that's maybe in a similar situation or not even in a situation, but they're going through those same emotions, they don't know how to cope through them, but you've been through it, you've done that. So now you just had to realize, like I said, like it's a different time where social media, we able to talk about it, but if you're not able to actually address your emotions and be comfortable talking about it, we ain't gonna never really spread it. And I feel as though as young Black males, we gotta start, being who we are. If we feel an emotion, just understand it as an emotion, is a human function, and move on from it. You got to deal with that emotion. That's the only way it's going to go.
And bottle it.
Right.
Most definitely. That's major, bro. Especially coming from like people our age. Like you're younger than us, but we still all in the same tech like age bracket. I don't say tax bracket. We still all in the same age bracket. Like it's really a big thing. Like a lot of people aren't this aware, and like me being a psychology major and having my degree in psychology, it really made me open my eyes. Like you can't fault everybody because like everybody don't have that mental to really like make them aware of what's going on. Some people just don't like not able to cope with that or not able to understand. And like somebody had told me one day, like somebody has to work at McDonald's. Like, so I started thinking like at some point, that really hit home because it's like, imagine if you come out here every day and somebody grinding as hard as they can. I'm busting my ass. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I'm just not seeing no success. And it's just like, everybody not going to make it to the top. She was right. Somebody does have to work at McDonald's. Somebody has to work at Walmart. So it's like, if everybody becomes successful and become millionaires, who's going to work at McDonald's? Who's going to work at Walmart? So just imagine if somebody out there grinding day after day after day and just can't get to the next level and don't really understand that that's okay. Like it's a process to get there. Like you might need someone to come and give you that nudge. It might be one of your friends that maybe I got a back wheel dream so that we both can live our dream. Maybe it's a team thing. Like you got to really understand life. And I feel like that's like mental health is big. Like it really make you do a lot of thinking, to be honest. Right. Especially at our age, a lot of people don't talk about mental health, especially coming from Baltimore. It's like, oh, if you even say, oh, if you even call a foul, you soft. So I know off the court, I better not say, oh, I feel sad today or nothing like that. I bet not come to school and say something happened or I'm not feeling good. Like literally, us three is prime example. We went to school for three years together, all together, and was three of the happiest people in school. I'm pretty sure. All of us had bad days, but nobody was able to see.
Right. It was just like we were so focused on being who we was at that moment. It's like I come in the cafeteria, I come into practice and tell Coach Rose or one of y'all like, man, I'm feeling down today. I'm upset. Everybody gonna look like, what are you telling us for? You better get out of that. You're not trying to hear that.
You're like, oh, all right, well, you got Justin Gorham tonight, so you better get it ready. You better get ready for it.
And I feel as though it's like, I wasn't able, honestly, to grasp that until after I left Baltimore. Like, when I left and went to Bradley, or when I actually left the DC, it was kind of a little transition. I was kind of coming back and forth, but it was different. When I had to leave, that's when I was like, oh, all right, this is different. Hold on, Baltimore, people, it's like, when they understand it, if you're not in Baltimore, you're not going to understand it. It's a crab type world. It's a crab mentality. If you soft, you can't be. Why? Because it's Baltimore. That's how you have to be. So being able to, when I left, it was like, oh, I got friends where they come to me, oh, I'm sad. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. So just being around that environment, it's like, okay, now I can tell somebody, yeah, I'm mad today, bro. Like this pissed me off. Okay. Now I talk about it, it's like, well, I feel a little better. Now I can move on to the next thing because life is going to keep going.
They got to.
I definitely felt that when I went to New York, bro. Definitely. And it humbles you too, in a way. Like, right. It definitely humbles you and makes you just realize, like you said, it's always something going on with the next person. So you can't just really, like, yeah, you're supposed to worry about yourself, but you got to keep going. Like, I heard a good quote from someone the other day I was listening to. I can't even remember the name of the podcast. They was like, people say we only live once, but if you think about it, we really live every day. We only die once. Yeah. If you think about it, it's like we do live every day until it's time for us to go in that box.
Right. I like that quote. I'm gonna use that somewhere, but yeah, I like that because that's facts. Like every day is a new event. Yeah, you may have the same cycle, get up, do this and that, but it's different events that's gonna happen every day. And your brain gonna process what you see, but tomorrow is gonna process 10 million more things. So that thought that you had yesterday is gone. So yeah, I'm gonna have to take that quote, bro.
Speaking of living and everything, talk about joining the Live the 100.
Yes, sir. Congratulations, my guy. Yes, sir.
That was major, bro. My first NIL partnership with Little 100, bro. That's an honor, bro. That's God has his hands all over that, man. I was actually a part of that Little 100 when I was in high school. It started out with me just passing out T-shirts, just being a part of Little 100. You remember that? I was just being a part of Little 100 just because everybody, like, I love what they stood for. Like, just Little 100 allowed me to put my own definition on what it means to live to 100, whether that's mental health, physical health, whatever it is. Like, they cover all the pillars. What they 4 pillars is mental health, physical health, spiritual health, and financial health. Like, they touch on everything that we always, like, you know, as us, as young males, we touch on every day. Like, y'all got the podcast going on. We try to touch on that mental health. We day trading, financial health. We being able to teach people how to trade, financial health, being in touch with God, spiritual health. Like, they cover every area of life. And I just like that how they just trying to, you know, actually continuously spread their movement, and they trying to help college athletes get paid. So,
I like that a lot for sure. That's all right.
Speak a little bit on you talked about when you left Baltimore, it actually built you up a little bit more. Talk about like how you were in a different atmosphere, different culture. Like, how did you had to adapt? Like, from the first time you stepped on campus.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's different because as soon as you step on campus, you ain't got nobody that you used to. You gotta adapt. Like,
hey, bro, that might have been the best way to describe it, bro.
Nobody, like, I'm telling you, it's a whole different environment. You on your own. It's like, figure it out. So, you know, you're gonna be yourself. You're gonna have your values, but throughout college, you're gonna change. You're gonna experience stuff that you've never experienced before. It's gonna allow you to realize, oh, I don't like doing something like that. Oh, I like math actually, but I didn't like it in high school because it taught me something. So, like, just adapting to that whole environment is definitely going to change you, but in a good way. And it all depends on how you make it. Like, every day, you just got to be willing to try something new. Because at the end of the day, you don't really know what you like. Like, you know what you like, but there's a lot of stuff you haven't experienced. So you don't really know what you like.
Right. Yes, sir. I feel like, I think just to elaborate on what you said a little bit, definitely experiences. Like, college is all about experiences. I feel like it really lets you show your individualism. Like, who are you? Because when you go to college, I mean, nobody in Illinois knows who Nolan Jr. is. Like, you went on YouTube, like, nobody know you played for Mount Royal and Colbert had you doing the bricks and all. Like, they didn't see you, feel me? See people growing up. So it's just like, dang, I ain't got nobody I'm not showing off for nobody. None of these people know me. Like, I'm just here. And I feel like you just get that fresh start. And I feel like that helps getting out of Baltimore. Because, like, if you're in Baltimore, people know you growing up and they like, oh, well, he was a tough guy in middle school. So he better be a tough guy in high school. He better not let that boy take his bag of chips, or he better not do something. And now you gotta be like, oh, somebody watching, I can't let da-da-da. And that's how a lot of people move. And it's like, you don't have to be like that. Like, I feel like going away from home, it allows you to really tap into that next level of growth inside of you.
One of the best hidden gems, getting away from home. I'm not saying that you can't be successful back home for anybody that's in Baltimore, hometown you in, but if you're one of those people who you feel like you may be bottled in or trapped in a spot, like we all know Baltimore's really considered a crab in the barrel type city. Not saying that everything bad about the city, but there's a lot of bad, but there is some good. But when you do get that chance to step away, you really do get to explore and expand who you are as a person and just everything around, as far as from networking, from friends and family may meet. You may love someone as in college, one of your homeboys or teammates in college, more than you did someone you might have grew up right next to. And it'd be crazy like that because they really going through the same thing you're going through. They going through the same battle. You're going through the same blood, sweat, tears, etc.
Right.
Speaking of, go ahead.
Oh yeah, and if that fresh start, it allows you to really just set the tone for what you wanted. Like, it's a new chapter in your life. You got everything that you know, all your experiences, your traumas, everything up until that point. Now is what you make it. So you really just gotta, you know, embrace it because change is gonna happen.
It is.
Yes, sir. Change is going to happen.
Speaking of a new chapter, you said it a little bit earlier, kind of skipped over, but speak on you.
Congratulations again, my guy.
Congrats, bro. A lot of changing. Like, I love to see it though, bro. Like, really seeing like Terry Nolan now. It's enjoyable for real.
Right, bro. This is. I ain't gonna lie. I found out in April that, you know, I'm having a baby. Man, I ain't gonna lie. As soon as I saw the pregnancy test, I started jumping up and down, bro. I was excited, happy. them bringing a life into this world, that's just, you know, that's God got his hand over it. Like, nothing I can really say to that. And, you know, I'm just happy that I got somebody that, you know, that's going to look up to me. So now I got to set the tone. I got to constantly keep trying to be a better me because, you know, they're going to copy after what I do, what I say, how I act. So I got to set the standard. So it just like make me be a better me.
Let me ask you this. Are you afraid of bringing a child into this generation?
Not at all.
Not at all. Elaborate on that.
So it's a new generation, right? And at this point in life, I feel as though life is really what we make it. Like, it's not uncommon for us to see a 15-year-old being a millionaire. It's not uncommon for us seeing a 5-year-old be a millionaire. Like YouTube, social media, it has so much opportunity in this world. Now, with the opportunity, it comes, you know, risks, it comes rewards. But I feel as though me kind of going through it first of this new wave, she's gonna have a good example to look up to. So I'm not worried at all. I'm just, you know, I'm ready to guide her with everything that come with it. But as far as worries, I don't have any worries.
That's all right. That's tough, bro. And then speak on how that, like, did that add a new feel to you? Like, you already coming back home. I already know it did. Like, you come back home with your family and everything. You ready to start your own family. You got everybody who's been supporting you from since you was that 6-year-old kid grinding. And now it's like, at this time, I don't want to put you just in a spotlight, but it's like, you definitely looked at as a provider in this stage. How do you feel like as far as all that?
Right. Now, it definitely added a way bigger fuel to my fire because I gotta provide for a human life. So I gotta be in a position where she's straight. Like, I'm not just living for myself right now. I'll be selfish if I acted the same way, did the same habits, wasn't trying to improve, wasn't trying to get more for myself. I'd be selfish. So yeah, it definitely added a big old fire on my fuel.
Talk a little bit about you just said you had to make some changes. Of course, you know, you're not living for yourself no more. You gotta live for your baby girl. So what are some things that you're doing right now to help you out every day to improve your mind, body, and soul to just make sure that you're the best possible person you can be when baby girl does arrive?
Right. So number one is just making sure, like I said, I'm the best me. So I gotta always protect my mental, protect my soul, protect my body, like you said. So when I wake up, you know, I'm just ready for the day. I'm ready, you know, I set that mindset from the beginning that whatever happens, you're gonna live from it, you're gonna get better from the decision, and you're just gonna move on. Now, as far as like my mental, I've been really, you know, heavy on God, you know, really trying to, you know, get as close to him as possible because I know that with him, everything is 10 times easier. He makes my mind, you know, at ease when it's anxious or when it's going through a lot of different things. And when you kind of, you know, put all your worries in him, like I said in the Bible, he handles all your worries. When bad things happen, I got somebody to say, okay, all things happen for your good. So I just got, you know, my mental is definitely sharp because of me seeing a higher being.
Do you think that the depressive state you went to at George Washington got you in that mindset that you at now? Because as you're talking, I'm listening, and it's kind of you like, if you go through something, you just gotta get through it, and you live to fight another day.
Right. It definitely did because, you know, like you said, when you coming up in an environment, you're not really able to express your feelings. When something happened to you, you don't really know what to do. Like you said, like it took me 5 months to get out of it, but that's because of years of going through something. So yeah, it took me, you know, 5 months to actually get out of it. Once I got out of it, it was like, okay, now I realize that emotions, like I said, they're going to happen. Like nobody can avoid emotions. Right. Something's bad is going to happen. Something good is going to happen every day. And the faster you're able to deal with that emotion and move on to the next point, the faster you're able to be a better you, to reach your goals faster. If you stuck on something that happened 10 months ago, like you're not going to be grinding as hard as you is if you have a clear mind, if you free at spirit. Like it's just, I realized that correlation that, okay, I can't control what's going to happen to me. I can control how I act though. I can control how I respond to it. And once I grasped that, it's just been, you know, it's been up and pushing. And my mental's been 10 times better.
Yes, sir.
For sure. I'm glad you said goals too, helping us out here a little bit. But speak on your future goals for the next 3 months that's about to end 2021 and going into the next year. Speak on I would say in the next 12 months, maybe 3 years, whatever, what's your future goals you have for yourself?
What's next for Terry Nolan Jr.? What's next for Impetuous Brand?
Right. So I'm gonna say short term for the next 3 months, I'm really just trying to put myself in a position to be, I'm not gonna say comfortable because I'm never comfortable, be in a position where I know that my little one is definitely taken care of to the full extent, whether she ain't worried about nothing. So that's my short-term goal right now. One of my short-term goals. Another one is to keep working, build enough momentum to where when the season starts, the team, we in a good enough position to where we just perform. Not at 100% because that's going to take time, but we performing at a high clip. We know that, okay, this is where he's going to be. We know the reads, we sharp. So that's my 2 real goals right there, making sure my baby girl's cool, and then the team making sure we as sharp as possible, that we can perform at the level we know we're capable of. I'm gonna say long-term goals for myself. Actually, I don't know, I'm gonna do like a medium-term goal, because I feel like we don't address that enough. Medium-term goal, I'm gonna say, I'm trying to play professional after this. After I finish high school, not high school, after I finish this last season, I'm trying to go professional, whether that's overseas or NBA. Definitely trying to do that. Really want to explore that overseas option though, because that's just a different way of living. And I've been in the States, but I haven't experienced, Europe, France, one of those. I haven't experienced that. And then having a daughter to come up and experience that, I feel as though it's just different. Like, we don't get that in Baltimore. We don't get that in the States to experience a different life. When it's all said and done, I'm gonna be back in the States. So why not go while I'm able to have the opportunity to go over there, And then just long term for myself, man, I feel as though, like you said, with Generation Z, like we the generation, we the wave. So we gonna be the ones that's gonna change our generation. We're gonna be the ones that's gonna be the forefront for generations after us. So I'm trying to obtain generational wealth. Honestly, that's my goal, main purpose.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Are you getting sleep these days, Tnolan?
Bro, yes, I sleep, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I sleep. I can't listen. I had a job over the summer. Was working there from like 7:30 to 11:30. I had to, leave that because I needed my sleep. I was grumpy. I was getting mad, and I had to, something. You feel me? So I'm definitely getting some sleep, at least 7 hours every day.
Most definitely. I had to ask you that one because I just want to know, like, how, like, talk a little bit about how you already. I mean, I know your baby girl not here yet, but I mean, you basically gotta live like she here, like act like, you feel me? Hey, this time is coming because it's gonna be here sooner than you know it. So, like, how you plan on juggling college basketball, trying to get to the next level to be a professional? You know how much of a business basketball has become versus your family.
Right. I mean, if I was trying to juggle it by myself, it would be impossible. I got a partner with me. Her name's Sharia Byers. That's my baby girl. I got a partner with me, and she really everything that I need. In terms of being a mother, a partner, like everything. So, in terms of juggling, it's a partnership. I know that where I lack, she picks up. Where she lacks, I pick up, and we just gonna do this thing together.
Yes, sir.
That's great to hear, though, for sure, bro. Speaking on the professional level, if you get overseas, of course, do your thing. I'm working on year 2.
Right.
But let's speak more on who's your favorite NBA player, you have to say.
All right, so OG favorite player, Kobe Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
But favorite player in the league right now, Damian Lillard.
You switched it up.
Who?
We was talking about this last night. I said Terry gonna get on here and say Andre Iguodala.
Listen. Hold on. Listen. It was Iggy, but then I had to realize, why is it Iggy? In my mind, like, why did I like him? Because he was strapping LeBron. I'm like, come on, bro. That's not basketball, bro. That's not basketball. You were just going with the wave. I wasn't being me, bro. I wasn't being me.
We debated this 2012, 2013.
Hey, you might have been one of the funniest people for that, though, Terry. Like, really, like, bro, Iggy's my favorite.
Hey, you stood behind Iggy, though, for sure.
Listen, I said it one time, and then y'all wouldn't let me hold it down. So I'm like, nah, I'm gonna just rock with Iggy. And he was performing at the time too. Whoa. So I'm like, we rocking with him. But nah, he's not my favorite player in the league, bro.
So you're going with Bean, and then actively you're going with D. Lil.
Yeah.
I like that.
You taking D. Lillard over Steph, bro?
Biased or unbiased?
I understand. Dame
You feel me?
Steph will kill that. Man.
Unbiased though, Steph, bro, he is different. He is different. Like on 2K, if you get Portland or you get the Warriors, which one are you more happy about?
You know which one.
Exactly. So
number 30. All right. Is there any? They don't have to be a NBA player. Is there any professional player? It couldn't be the NBA. So that you feel like y'all games are very similar, or you model your game after in a sense. I know everybody has like that one player that they not necessarily try to do everything like, but you know how it is. Like you know how to get to that level.
Right. I would say, honestly, like Dame Lillard and CJ McCollum. Like I watched both of their games to a T and kind of try to mix both of it. And then as far as like, because I've always been a two guard, but kind of in point guard now I'm playing more the PG. So I've been watching a little bit more of CP3, like his reads, how he be passing, stuff like that. Just trying to pick up on like the intellect part of the game for real.
What's something that you think you take from Dame and CJ game? What's one aspect that you try to take away from their game?
Well, from Dame, I like his change of pace, like his between he gone. So like his being able to play at his mercy and he be able to shoot at anywhere. Like he got the total package because he able to shoot from so far. Because he efficient from so far, you got to pick him up. Now you at his will. And then CJ McCollum, his game is just so fundamental, but it's his own type of game. So CJ, he gonna hit you with then he gonna do a floater right over you, or he gonna hit you with something and then he gonna stop and shoot a mid range. Like it's basics, but he added it. Like I said, he didn't reinvent the wheel. He just added rims to it. So I kind of just take both of those games. The fundamentals, just you having defenders at your will.
Dame definitely got polished. I see why you say the Dame. Like we was in high school, probably your first year at George Washington. I seen a lot of like Jaylen Brown, like a 6'4", 6'3" Jaylen Brown. I seen a lot of that. But I definitely see how you like move towards that point guard position more. Definitely excited for this season for sure.
Yeah, I started dunking for real. I got older. And I started realizing 3 more than 2.
Somebody just asked me today, bro, like, bro, you still dunk everything? Like, bro, it don't come the same like that when you trying to get like, you gotta get a bucket. You gotta lock ends.
Like, I'm gonna dunk on you if I got the opportunity to. If you jump, I'm gonna dunk on you. But nah, I'm trying to get a bucket. I ain't trying to do all that. It's different now. We older, bro. We ain't got those legs.
When you fall out the air that high a couple times, you start questioning like, oh, I ain't really keep doing this.
Yeah.
I still got a video of us 3 at Mount Carmel having a little dunk contest.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember that like it was yesterday. We got a couple more questions before we let you go. We ain't gonna hold you too much longer. And to your understanding, I mean, your opinion, is wrong, or is there such thing as doing the wrong thing for the right reason?
All right, is wrong, or is there such thing as doing the wrong thing for the right reason?
Yes, sir.
All right, so when you put it like that, I'm gonna say, at the end of the day, wrong is wrong. Whether you do it for the right reason or not, is wrong. Like, now I do believe that in certain instances, you can do things that's wrong for the right reason. Maybe somebody, so the example I'm gonna give, like, I can't even get an example. All right, example I'm gonna think of is like, kind of withholding information because somebody's going through something and you don't want to make it worse. Yeah, that's wrong because you ain't telling them, but in a sense, it can be the right thing in that wrong moment. You know what I'm saying? It's just how you perceive it, but at the end of the day, wrong is wrong.
Got you. And this is EYEAM Mental Health Podcast. We ask everybody who comes on the podcast this question. With 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, where are you currently right now with your mental health?
Mental health, I'm gonna say right now, I'm at a 10. I'm at a 10 right now. I put all my worries in God right now, man. I'm healthy, my girl healthy, my family healthy. You know, I got a roof over my head, food to eat. Like, I'm triple blessed right now, man. My mental is good. It's what I'll make it.
That's big right there, bro. One more before we, get up out of here, closing. Are there anything in life that you feel like you regret, or you would switch back if you could go back in time?
No, I ain't got no regrets to this day. I feel as though
you would do everything the same way if you could do it all over again. Every single day, the same exact way. You can't change nothing. If you're going back watching your life as a child, it's like, dang, I know I'm about to fall and scrape my knee.
Right.
You ain't gonna move them over to not let them fall. You just gonna keep doing everything the same.
I'm gonna keep doing everything the same because think about it. If I go back and I switch it, then I'm just messing with God at that point. God got everything written from beginning to end. So everything gonna happen for a reason. So now I don't want to switch anything.
Got you. That makes sense. Definitely glad to have you on here, Brody. We definitely support you. We got 100%. All the love coming from EYEAM brand over here. Hope your baby girl come out healthy, bro. We wish nothing but the best for you coming up this upcoming season. We definitely gonna be down to catch a game for sure. Definitely watch your games online, all of that.
You sent me the schedule, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
I got that.
Yes, sir, bro. We gotta do a collab too. EYEAM Impetuous Brand, bro. We gotta do this one of our shirts.
Definitely gonna do that, bro.
Or even if we don't do a collab, let's do something for the city, a little pop-up shop or something. Once everything gets situated, of course, once baby girl get in here, we can, you feel me, talk about some business.
Yeah, we definitely gonna do that, bro. I appreciate y'all for having me, bro. I love what y'all doing for the culture, bro. Keep doing it. I already know this thing about to blow up, bro.
Always,
love, Brody. It's Monte Newsom.
I'm Will Jenkins.
And this is another episode of EYEAM Mental Health Podcast. Thank you again, Tnolan.
Sir, appreciate y'all, bro.